All right, we've got a 2008 Hyundai Sonata with 115,000 miles on it. This is definitely not the car that I usually look at, but it is almost December. We're only 60 days out from getting ready to be loaded up for tax time. And this car just fits the bill. Usually these things are pretty noisy, so I'm a little gun shy, but tires are good and the body looks respectable. Doesn't appear to have any hail. It's not all rotted out in the ass end here like they usually get. The interior seems, you know, it's light colored, so it's dirty, but it'll all detail out and clean up really well. Just kind of has that first impression of it might not be a half bad little car. See, it's starting on this side a little bit here, right? But like, it's not terrible. Like, this is going to be cheap wheels for somebody, you know, probably a $69.95 car or something like that, you know, in that ballpark range. So the expectations aren't extremely high. It sure beats walking. But now the question, is the motor any good? Boy, for an old Hyundai, she sounds pretty good. Yeah, I'd say she's okay. Let's see if she's got any codes hiding in her. All right, no codes. 7,700 miles since they were last deleted. Well, that's a good sign. Let's check under the hood. Oil looks okay. Coolant's good. A little bit of seepage here and there, maybe on this back cover, but coming from this valve cover, but shit, that ain't nothing. Front looks dry. That all looks good. Forgot what it's like to be able to see and check a dipstick these days. That's good. A little diamond in the rough, maybe. Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But underside looks okay. Doesn't look motor dry. Frame looks good. Well, I'll be damned. Let's go run it down the road. All right, first impressions on this little Hyundai so far are pretty good, actually. Let's see how she shifts. Well, I'll be damned. Let's check our cruise. Cruise works. See, this is why after all these years we got to the point where sometimes you just got to go with your gut. Sometimes it works in your favor and other times it doesn't, but you know, is what it is. This is actually, I'm not even gonna say pretty nice. Outside that little blister on that driver's rear quarter, this is a really nice little car for a 2008 Hyundai. All right, this 08 Sonata is a nice little fucking car. We'll put it on the list for sure. See if we can get it bought. All right, the 08 Sonata with 115,000 miles on it. Our nicest little ship box of the day. Carbley's appraisal assistant coming in with a retail of $6,550. Carfax right in there at $6,500. And our 100% market average mileage adjusted price of $6,600. So based on how nice this little car actually was, we're going to give it a retail price of $69.95. And because there's just not going to be a lot of margin in this car, I'm still going to back it up to $4,500, but you know, we'll see what it takes. Let's see if we can buy a cheap piece of shit.
25, 26, 25, but not 25, 25, 25, 25, 600. I got 600, 25, but not 25, 25, but not 7 out, 27, 28, 28, but no 9, not 29, 29, not 3 grand. I want 31. Look at but not 31, not 2, 31, not 2, not 3, not 3, not 4, 31, 31, not 5, 35, 6, 35, but not 6, not 7, 37. Oh, 8, 38, but no 8, no 9, 4 grand, 4, not 4, 45. Look at 2, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, now, but the born, but the my, what my Sean, but the my Sean, but the born by, now 6, 46, 47, 47 Sean, 47, now 6 on 7 Sean, 47, I can't but not 6 on 7, 47, 6 on 7, 47 Sean, you're out, 47, I got 6, but down to the bar, to the button, to the bar, to the bar, to the bar, to the bar, 7, so 4 6 to the bank, 641, 4 6 to the bank, 641, 4 6 to the bank.
All right, let's take a look at this '07 Chevy Impala, 119,000 miles on it. It's just a car, an old car. But like I was just saying with our Sonata, tax time's 90 days around the corner, so it might be time to start loading up. Not to mention, I would look at this car just about any of the stores at any point in time. These things sell well. Tires are good. Body looks straight. Does not appear to have any hail. I mean, the worst color combo in the world. Ugh. It smells a little... well, I don't know. Look at that fucking seatbelt. Look how nasty dirty that... Bet you this car was just gross at one point. Tires look good. Backed into something here a little bit, but nothing crazy. Let's get underneath this thing before we do anything else, because these things will rot out down here. This one appears to be solid. The fender isn't blistered or moving. Pinch welds. Oh, well, there you see what I'm looking for. She's starting to get pretty weak under there. Yep, we're gonna pass on this one. She's getting pretty crusty. That's too bad. Well, let's take a look at an '07 Ridgeline RTS with 175,000 miles on it. It's actually a pretty good looking truck initially. I mean, it's got a little bump here that's been touched up. You can tell it's got maybe some minor hail. A little bit. Tires look good. Body looks, I mean, for what it is, relatively respectable. Does have all the equipment. It needs a good bath. This is pretty common in these rear headliner. Starts sagging. Just shitty glue from the manufacturer or whatever it is, but not uncommon. Tires are really good. Wheels will all clean up. I'm actually surprised how clean this is. There's no rust showing on these where they usually do back here. Let's see how it sounds. Ooh. Motor sounds okay. Let's scan it. That's interesting. Because it's older, you don't necessarily get to see some of the other information with the older OBD2, but you can see 0 miles since it hasn't been driven since the codes were cleared. So the likelihood of the store doing that, no, somebody drove this and they cleared the codes, probably to see if they were going to come back on their test drive, you know, rather than fixing it. Let's try to blow the codes, and if they don't come back on, well, then maybe we'll buy it. I'm not too scared of this thing though. It doesn't have any other lights on. Let's check under the hood. Oil looks good. It smells coolant. I almost see it burning too. Oh yeah, look at that down there. All wet down there. Bottom of this radiator is probably leaking. You can see that. See the steam coming off of it. Doesn't have a new starter. But you know, it's an '07. It should need something. So it needs a radiator. I mean, that's not the end of the world. And I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You can see where it's leaking. It looks almost like, and if it's not the radiator, it's that. No, it's definitely radiator's leaking. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. With any luck, maybe it'll be smoking when it comes through the lanes and gets good and hot, and everybody will stay away from it. We got one little scuff over here, but again, an '07 with 180,000 miles on it. Underside looks good and dry. Frame looks good from, I mean, what you can all see. Yeah, let's go drive this thing. Alright, so far so good. A little clunky, but that's to be expected. Let's see if she's going to hit all her shift points good. That all seems good. Cruise works. Let's check our, where are we at? 07 Honda. Power moon works. This is actually a pretty decent old truck. I mean, and for whatever reason, these things are super desirable. So, we'll get this thing pulled over and we'll just check the all-wheel drive quick, make sure the VTM locks in. All right, let's check the four-wheel drive system. Those of you that don't know, in these VTM systems for Honda, you either have to be in reverse. You can see the orange light lit up there. But as soon as I go to drive, it goes out. And you cannot get it to set in drive. And then you either need to go back, you need to go down into first or second to get these to engage. And the minute I go to drive, it's going to go back out. So the reason that is these things aren't designed to be a four-wheel drive truck per se. This is designed, they're designed to get you out of the shoulder of the road or the ditch if you end up in there. Or, you know, if you're trying to take off from a start and you've got a bunch of snow. But it's not designed to be a full-fledged four-wheel drive system. So, if you didn't know, now you know. Alright, this 07 Ridgeline actually checks out pretty decent. Truck drove out good. It's going to need front brakes. They were pulsating pretty good. And obviously that radiator. But outside of that, I'm sure there'll be a couple other little things. But for the most part, it's a pretty decent old truck for 175,000 miles on it. We'll put it on the list and see if we can get it bought. All right, we've got the 07 Ridgeline with 175,000 miles on it. Carbley's appraisal assistant giving us a retail of $95.90. Carfax coming in at $93.30. And our 100% market average mileage adjusted price of $9,300. So kind of based on where all these land here, we're going to price this one at $89.95 for a retail number, and we're going to back it up to $6,500 for our wholesale buy number.
About 65 here. It $4,000, 4100. It 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 6 7 now 8 8 9 9 it 51 52 53 and 54 50 34 and now the cold feet on 3 down 54 about 54 and 5 about 6 I'm up high. Nathan, you're now 600 now here and now 7 now 8 8 8 9 and now 6 round down and 1 1600 Shane, you've been another. It 1 2 now 3 down about 2 about 2 down 3 3 and 4 4 4 4 down 5. It's 60 now 60 down about 6 to 7. It's we're gonna sell. We get down 7 7 now 8 8 8 9 8 down the bounty down the 8 down the bounty now 9 down 7 grand Shane 7 about 7 here. It's 7 now 1 70 102 102 2 102. I can't believe you left that much on the table. 102 2 about 2 to 3 3 3 3 now down to 4. We're good to go 3 down to 4. And now about Shane, you want any more down? 3 4. Sold 700 bucks here, 1137 by MS 700 now sold.
All right, let's take a look at this 2009 Toyota Camry. 104,000 miles on it. Tires are like brand new. Hubcaps are hubcaps. Does not appear to have any hail on it. It's a pretty straight looking old car. Interior's shit. It actually smells good in here. It'll clean up good. It's definitely going to need a detail, but it's a pretty good looking old car. Side of the body looks straight too. Let's see how this thing sounds. Carfax was clean. Oh, what do we got? A little rap in the exhaust, but nothing crazy. Motor sounds good. Let's scan it and see what we got. All right, we got no codes. 12,927 miles since they were last deleted. I guess I'm not overly surprised based on how the rest of this car looks. Let's check under the hood. Oil is good and clean. Coolant is good. I definitely got a valve cover leak in here, but that ain't no biggie. Pretty standard on these things. The rest of the motor looks good and dry. Let's see what she looks like underneath, but I'm not anticipating there being anything crazy based on everything else. Get out of my way. Motor looks dry. Subframe looks good. This is a nice ass little car. Let's go rip it. See how she drives. Alright, so far so good. First impressions, this is a pretty nice old car. For a 2009, it's a very nice car, which means it's going to take all the money and then some probably to get it bought. These Camrys are just insane what they do today. Especially if they're under $10,000. Cruise works. Yeah, this is a really nice old car. Everything feels tight. Smells good inside, which I know sounds funny, but so many of these things don't. They just stink something fierce. This is a really nice old car. This 09 Camry is definitely going on the list. It's a pretty nice old car. It's going to take all the money to get it bought, but we'll book it out, get it put on the list, and we'll see if we can get it done. Okay, the 09 Camry with 104,000 miles. This is a really nice little car. Carbley's appraisal assistant coming in at $10,190. Carfax giving us $10,060. And our 100% market average mileage adjusted price of $9,700. So we're going to price this unit at $99.95 for a retail number. And we're going to back this up to $8,000 for a wholesale buy number. Because it is a Camry and it's an import, back at 10 grand. There's just no margin.
Number 100 coming up, Camry, time of the Camry, LE, time of the here, 5,050, time of the down the power, down 4, down 4, up to 4 now, 600 down, we got now 6 grand, 2, top of the 62 to 4, at 2, 4, from the 600 down here, 600 down, down 600 at 4, how about down 600 down, 600 down, we 30 down, 7 grand, 7 grand, body down, 7 grand here, 7 grand, down, down, down to 2, top of the 4, down 2, 4, we're selling every penny of it, 2 down 4 to your 2, 4. There's so many time of the moment 2 4, time of the moment 2 4, here 2 time of the moment 2 4, here 2 4, and time of the moment 2 4, time of the moment 2 4, time of the moment 2 4, now sold 7,206.41 buys.
All right, let's take a look at this 16 Enclave, 79,000 miles. Let me just double check here. Yeah, it is a premium all-wheel drive. This truck has got some eyeball. It's a good-looking truck. The first thing that scares me about this truck, though, is this is a pretty sellable unit. So I'm not so sure the tranny's any good in this thing, but we'll take a peek at it. Tires are good. Body is straight. Interior's good. It's got the double moons. Come on, get up. That all looks good. And you know, I mean, it could be an aged unit, I guess. It doesn't appear to be an aged unit though. Doesn't look like it's set up that way. But the body itself looks really respectable. Motor sounds good. I jumped in to start this thing before, so it was just double check the motor. Yeah, it's good. It's flipping cold out here, so try to get this thing warmed up a little bit. Let's scan it. All right, no codes. 25,000 miles since they were last cleared, so that's good. Let's just check this moon. All right, come on now, that's good. Let's check under the hood. Oil looks good. Coolant is full. How they pack these fucking things in here. This side looks good, front looks dry. This side looks good. The lines look good. Not anticipating seeing anything crazy under here. This all looks good. Motor looks good and dry. Well, we're gonna go drive it. My gut's telling me this thing's leaning towards a tranny, but we'll see. We'll see. It just might be one of those days. All right. So far, so good. Still a little gun shy. All those shift points were good. Let's see if I get nobody coming behind us. I'm going to slow down a little bit and just make sure our torque converter stays locked up. Just get down to about 30 miles an hour and get some light throttle pressure on this biatch. Everything seems good. It's not giving me any inclinations that this thing's got a funky trans in it. See if the cruise works. Heated steering wheel. Alright, cruise works. This is a really, really nice truck. Still trying to figure out why this thing's here. Maybe they just assumed it was bad and sent it. Never went through the shop at all. Slight brake pulsation. Nothing terrible. Alright, let's see how she does under some good throttle pressure. Yeah, I'm gonna check that one more time. Let this guy go past. Just gotta be so cautious with these things. No, that I was leaning into it pretty good there, but let's just see. Boy, oh boy. I can't come up with anything. This seems like a pretty nice truck. I'm gonna give her one more rip, just see if we can get it to act up. Boy, I got nothing. This is a nice ass truck. The 16 Enclave Premium all-wheel drive with 79,000 miles on it. Carbly's appraisal assistant coming in at $21,630, which is going to be extremely strong because of a couple books out there. Carfax coming in at $20,310, and then the live local market mileage adjusted price of $18,007. Now, based on these comps down here, the live market stuff, I'm going to trust the live market here a little more than some of these other book values. This is a really nice truck, but there's some stuff out there. So we're going to price this one at $18,995. I don't know if this is going to get it done from a retail number, but that's where we're going to put it. It's going to give us a buy number of roughly $16,500, maybe $17,000 if I'm feeling edgy. All right, let's see if we can get this 16 Enclave bought.
All right, how about here, D15? How about here, D15? How about here, Enclave? It is all-wheel drive. It is 14 grand, 14.2, 814, 12.2. How about 12.4, 8.4, 6. How about 12.6, 8. How about 8? Now 13, 13,000. Now my friend, 13. Now 2. How about 2? Now 4, 13.4, 6. How about 13.6, 8. How about 8? Down 14, 8.14. Now 2. How about 14.2. How about 4? Now 6. Now 14.6, 8. How about 8? 15,000. Now 2. 8.15. How about 4? How about 15.4? 15.6, 8. How about 8? 16,000. How about 16,000? How about 16? How about 2? 4. 8, 2, 4, 4, 6, 600, 600, 8, 4, 6, 8, 17,000, 17, 17, 2, 17, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, 8, 2, 4, 3, Shane, 8, 3, 2, 3, yes, no, I'm gonna go, 8, 17, 2, 3, 2, 3, and that sold 17, 2, sold 17, 2, what's his number? 8, 17, 2.